Jin and Sun are talking Korean, and Jin notices how C.S. Lewis keeps looking over at them, figuring out that she knows Korean. Claire trips in the jungle, and Miles asks if she's okay, and if she wants help with the baby, again overly interested in Claire and Aaron. Sawyer once again breaks him off when Frank comes running through the jungle to them. He tells them that they need to hide because Kimi is coming, and sure enough, Kimi and his men come. It looks like Smokey killed most of them, but we really have no idea how many of them there were to begin with. One of them looks hurt really badly too. Aaron starts to squeal, and Kimi looks around for the noise, but eventually leaves. We flash forward to Jack in his car, staring at the bench where Hurley told Jack he talks to Charlie. It also looks like he's starting to grow the beard that we see at the end of Season 3. Jack goes back home, wakes Kate up, and proposes to her. And it takes her a half a minute to answer, but she eventually does say yes. The team of 4 gets all the medical supplies and returns to the camp at night. Jin pulls C.S. Lewis aside and says in Korean, "I know you understand me." She eventually admits that she does, and Jin makes her promise that she'll get Sun off the island, and she promises. In the surgery tent, Bernard tells Jack that he can put him out and says, "Wouldn't you rather be dreaming of something nice back home?" Which I said earlier is the name of the title of this episode. They start the surgery, and Jack starts to whimper like a puppy, so they knock him out, even though Jack says he doesn't want to be unconscious. Jack flashes forward where he's looking at x-rays when he hears a beep, and it's also interesting to note here that the same black spot on the x-ray that Jack's looking at is where Ben had his tumor when Jack was looking at the x-rays in Season 3. It's the exact same spot. He goes down the hallway and finds the beep coming from a smoke detector. Jack turns it off when he hears a very loud voice say, "Jack!" He turns around and sees his dad, wearing his suit with the white shoes that he always does on the island, and this is the person that Hurley tells us would be seeing him soon. So the smoke detector goes off, and Christian appears. Smoke detector, smoke monster, at least that's what they're trying to infer to me. Somehow smoke monster is manifesting itself off the island. And when Hurley saw Charlie at the police station, there was a sign that said no smoking. Jack goes home, and Kate's talking to someone on the phone, saying Jack won't be home for an hour and that she can see whoever it is for a little bit. Kate lies and says it was Noreen. Also notice the art on the refrigerator. It's the exact same artwork from the first episode of this season, Season 4, when Hurley's talking to Abaddon. You can see the same flowers, the ladybug. There's even a shark on the fridge, and you can also see on the blackboard behind Hurley there's a shark too. Did Hurley give these to them, or was it just coincidence? We'll never know. Claire wakes up and Aaron's missing. She looks over and sees Christian holding him and says, "Dad?" And the most significant part to me of this scene was the fact that Christian wasn't wearing the suit he normally wears. He wasn't wearing the black suit, and we couldn't really see the white shoes. But he also didn't look as sinister as he does normally. Maybe this is a different version, maybe not a manifestation. An idea is that Claire actually died in the house explosion last episode, and that this version of Claire is just a physical manifestation of the island, similar to Yemi and Jack's dad and Kate's horse, and that they're all physical and can be felt. This would explain why Miles was so overly interested in Claire this episode, knowing that she's dead somehow. And this would explain how Kate became the non-biological mother of Aaron. She would be just as physical as how Charlie slapped Hurley when he was apparently dead, and how Kate touched a horse, and how Sawyer saw it when that's apparently not real. And it also could be why Christian appeared to her to tell her everything that's going on. Or this could be the reason why Miles is so overly interested in Claire this episode. Makes sense to me. But I still think Claire is alive. It's just an idea. After the surgery, Kate goes into the room where Juliet is stitching up Jack. And Juliet tells her about the kiss, but says that it was supposed to be for Kate. Sounds like Juliet's throwing in the towel. In the future, Jack is home drinking, and Kate comes in, looking nice. Jack asks where she was, and she gets down on her knees to say, "I'm going to need you to trust me. Leave it be." This is Jack we're talking about, so of course he asks again, and even yells at her to tell him. And she says she was doing something for Sawyer, that she made him a promise. Jack says that Sawyer made his choice to stay, that he's not there, implying Sawyer's still alive on the island. Kate says, "I can't have you this way around my son," and Jack responds with, "You're not even related to him." And wouldn't the more appropriate response be, "You're not his mother," or "Claire's his mother"? Just the way he said it made me think that, made it seem to me that Jack knows that he's related to him. And of course Aaron hears them say this, and he's hugging Shamu, and Jack leaves. Sawyer wakes up and asks Miles where Claire is, and he says, "Oh, she just walked off into the middle of the jungle during the night, like it was no big deal." He also says that she wasn't alone, that she went with a guy that she called Dad. And this is important because Miles apparently saw him too. Then they hear Aaron crying, and he's all by himself on a leaf. And we hear a voice that doesn't sound like it came from Aaron, but sounds like Claire whimpering a little bit, and Sawyer looks around yelling Claire's name. Now the big question is where Claire went, and why she left Aaron. I think Jacob is summoning her. As we know, Christian was in Jacob's cabin, so maybe they're working together somehow. I have a gut feeling that we won't see Claire for the rest of the season. Or maybe she might meet up with Ben and Locke and Hurley's group soon and meet up with Jacob. Who knows? Okay, I'm going to start something new in these recaps at the very end of each episode. Just going over what unanswered questions were created from this past episode. Okay, for this episode, where did Christian go with Claire? Why did Claire leave Aaron behind? How did Kimi and his team survive the smoke monster? Why did Jack get sick when the island is supposed to heal? What was Kate doing for Sawyer? Why did Christian appear to Jack? Why is no one else supposed to raise Aaron? And does Jack know he's related to Aaron? And if you guys have any theories on those questions, let me know. I'd love to hear them. I read every comment, so if you have any ideas, just write them down. Next week is called Cabin Fever. It looks great. Judging by the name, I assume that's going to be at Jacob's cabin, so hopefully find out more about him. I'll see you guys next week, and God bless.